We see, oh, we on the clock, baby. You know, it's action time. Action. Bow. What's going on, party people? This is L'Esprit here. Now, if this is your first time, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you in. I go by the name of L'Esprit. Okay, you're the one and only. Let me stop. I'm tripping. But anyway, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you in. Happy Friday. You know, I figured, what I'm saying, I would, do this one real quick with you guys. And, well, technically, I am a spiritual healer. So what I do, technically, I help people to help themselves. To heal themselves, pretty much, right? So I help you to heal yourself by being in alignment with yourself, right? And for me to do that, I help you to understand your emotional pattern, your intellectual pattern, how to deal with your emotional blockages, things of that sort. We get physical. Surgical, I should say. Not physical at all. Unless, we got some other action going on. But anyway, thank you. It's definitely a pleasure having you in here. Check out the Patreon, become a tribe member. All right, let's take this to a big dog status. That's what we're doing. Okay. Now, with that being said, if you're coming back, you already know what you're in for. Come on, man, let's talk about it. And now, I always like to give a little bit of background about spirituality, what I do, and shit like that. So, spirituality is the person that you are. It's your, as soon as you were born, you step into this human flesh or the form, you are spirit. Do you see what I'm saying? And pretty much, the journey is for us to understand that process or to become, to attain that realization of who we are. And that's technically what you are, has nothing to do with your, belief systems and none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's your right, baby. Your spirit by default. You know what I'm saying? You're already that. So, now with that being said, I kind of like been thinking about, having a different series, I should say, about, the masculine energy and the feminine energy, in terms of, trying to share with you some of the things that I've learned. But most importantly, as I became more spiritual, and also I am a divine feminine, just so you guys know, that has nothing to do with, sexes or gender, but it has a lot to do with, your spiritual state of mindset, and quite frankly, being a divine feminine simply means that, like, for me, I'm highly intuitive. The creative is just, it's just there. The long hair, like certain things of that sort, nurturing. I'm very, very, I'm very much a nurturer, if you want to put it that way. Those are the core essence of the person that I am. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted, though. That masculine is there like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The feminine just come through first, you know what I'm saying? Or the masculine come through, depending on what the situation is, depending on what we're doing. But anyway, but the reason why I wanted to talk about this, as a spiritual healer, I think it's important for a lot of us to understand, not just the masculine energy, but the feminine energy. Do you see what I'm saying? And technically, what you're calling a man or a female, it's just the body that embodied, that type of energy. And sometimes, and again, it doesn't have to always be the case. Obviously, I am a man, but I'm a divine feminine. And that's what you see with the whole Jesus thing, having the long hair, having compassion and being highly intuitive, creative. When you see guys like Prince, Michael Jackson, shit, even Jay-Z, to be honest, I was just watching them or listening to his conversation. He was on that Kevin Hart show. You know what I'm saying? And then a couple of things I've been following about him, like he's growing his hair, that is part of, the feminine energy that is being expressed through him. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I know for me, when I started growing spiritually, I started growing my hair. I mean, not because I wanted to be dread. Like, in fact, I always tell this fucking story, like, I couldn't identify myself because I remember I was in line, I think I was buying some shit, right? And I was in deep thoughts, and there was a guy behind me. He was trying to tell me, yo, this is your turn, go. Like, yo, dread. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, I'm looking around like, who the fuck is he talking to? But anyway, like I always say, you know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, I embrace my shit, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to them dreads too, because I fuck with them. But anyway, so that's the concept behind it. I hope I didn't lose you too much, or I didn't lose you at all, because I don't want to, no child's being left behind over here. You know what I'm saying? So, now with that being said, and you can also, like, vice versa too. You could have some certain a female that is a divine masculine, depending on what type of spirit that she embodied. She could be more on the intellectual side. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you have all type of different feminine energy that can also be a divine masculine. Do you see what I'm saying? I am a masculine energy, but that is a divine feminine, meaning, just like everything I just said, but the same thing is also true for a feminine energy who may embody a divine masculine, meaning, that is more intellectual, more of a doer. Some of the masculine traits you will see that person has, yet still maintain her femininity. That's what I call like a mature feminine energy. Do you see what I'm saying? So, now that we got this out the way, so you understand, what we're talking about when we're talking about the masculine energy and then the divine masculine, because the divine masculine embodies both, I shouldn't say, but, embodied, either the masculine energy or the feminine energy, right? So let's proceed now. Just by me looking around and certain things that I didn't understand, because a lot of times, and I gotta say this too, as a disclaimer, shit, I was just talking, hold up, niggas. You know what I'm saying? I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I was violating. I was not behaving correctly here. So, I had to act right. Let me act right. So, now that we got all of that out of the way, what the fuck was I talking about? So, yeah, so I wanted to share a couple of things that I learned along the way in terms of understanding the feminine energy. And, and again, this is not. Let's get a couple things out of the motherfucking way. This is not about, teaching you how to dominate over, this is not the battle of the sexes. In fact, the whole point of me saying this is us coming together through the length of understanding. But mostly understanding, because if you're going to deal with the feminine, you come on, it makes sense. It only makes sense for you to understand, what I'm saying, what the feminine is all about. Do you see what I'm saying? Or how they operate. If you're looking to have a successful relationship, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not looking to have a successful relationship, or are you just acting out of ignorance, meaning you not knowing any better, you just be in a relationship just to be in a relationship. And then at that point, that's when you'll see people are looking to dominate other people because they don't know any better. And then now, they're learning that, the way to have a mate or, to be with anybody is through that, power tripping type of shit. We ain't doing that over here, player. We operate out of true love. You know what I'm saying? This is for you who love a bitch and the bitch love you. Now y'all looking to come together. You know what I'm saying? We you know what I'm saying? We're not on some fuck shit here. All right? So, now that we got that out of the way, my niggas, let's get down to business. So, it's important for you to understand the feminine energy. But most importantly, you should be open to understand what the feminine energy is all about. Because at this point, you are dealing with a different type of energy. And if your goal, obviously, and know that we're trying to be conscious here, right? Because we want this to work out. You know, you're not putting yourself in a situation for you to lose, player. What are you doing? Oh, come on now, stop. Stop. You're not doing that. You're not. You know. Come on, man. You look too good to be doing that. I'm not gonna allow it. That's not allowed, motherfucker. That's not on my watch, nigga. Shit. Nah, I'm not gonna let you lose, baby. I got you. So, now with all of that in mind, right? Because you have to be very conscious, you know, and that's the point here too. You know what I'm saying? So you have to acknowledge the differences first between the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Because you can't treat a female the way you treating your like another man. You know what I'm saying? And ironically, even though, you know, to me that sounds very funny, but that's what I've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen guys who are, you know what I'm saying, who does not understand, who's saying that women are not. How am I trying to say this here? You don't want to be the guy that's, you know, asking women to change for you. You want to be the change for them. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if anybody's going to change for you, you shouldn't be asking them to do it. Trust me. You know, like it's almost like what I'm seeing is I've seen a lot of guys complaining about female the way that they're acting, and hoping that female would change so they could adjust to what's happening. See, if you're thinking that way, you're not in your power. It doesn't make sense. Do you see what I'm saying? That's like if you're playing a game. Let's just say if you're playing with Michael Jordan, right? If you're playing a game, and then you want the other people to slow down, so you could catch up. Nah, you gotta speed up your game. It doesn't make sense. That's just that's just stupidity. Do you see what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know what I'm saying, these guys are complaining about women or modern day women, you know, based on what I've been hearing. You know, like if a girl want to be a hoe, let her be a hoe, man. Like, what's the problem? Why does that bother you? You know what I'm saying? Let a bitch be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? That's none of your concern. Well, at least it's not mine. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a thought. You want to twerk, babe? Shit, you got it. In fact, you gotta have some ass for you to twerk. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not co-signing anything, but you just, you know what I'm saying, had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not concerned. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you got nothing on me, nigga. I keep my cool. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Y'all tripping. So it doesn't make any sense. Well, at least to me, I should say, right? So, you know, you definitely don't want to be that type of guy, right? Because now at this point, it's like you're not in power. Because if you are in power, you know what I'm saying, none of that should be your concern. Let a hoe be a hoe. If you want to be a hoe, shit, nigga, be out there. You I'm pretty sure somebody's going to, you'll get paid. You'll have a living. Now, I'm not co-signing anything, but I'm just, what I'm saying, I just know my boundaries. That's all. You see, but most importantly, I'm in my power too. You know what I'm saying? Why would I give a fuck about what other people are doing? Do you see what I'm saying? I would rather put that energy into me, developing myself, making myself a better man. That's how I'm looking at it. But anyway, so it's almost like, what I'm saying, they're saying women are emotional, right? And I'm also going to talk about that too, or the feminine energy. Yes, it is. However, the way they're saying emotional is like it's ridiculous. It's like there's no intelligence in it. Now, I would say the same thing. However, there's a lot of intelligence in their emotions. Do you see what I'm saying? I felt like a lot of these guys, they failed to see, they felt like to really understand that part. So it's almost like if you know the feminine energy is different from you and it's emotional, let's just use that for a fucking example, right? If you're saying she's emotional, so therefore you wouldn't have to argue with a bitch to begin with because she's emotional. If you're saying there's a lack of logic, meaning because the way that they're looking at them being emotional is that, they're not logical. Do you see what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to say to you is, yes, they are emotional and they are logical, but their logic is different from our logic. Trust me, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's how a bitch could fuck on you, do all kinds of bullshit you wouldn't even know, nigga. If anything, that's why a lot of guys are saying that women are smarter than us. But it's a different type of intelligence that they have. And for you to deal with that feminine energy, you have to understand the way their emotions, but not emotional in the sense of they have no logic, but it's emotional in the sense that their logic is different from our logic. But not necessarily saying, because sometimes when they say women are emotional, what they're truly saying is like, they don't have a capacity to think. You know what I'm saying? Or if they do, they're not thinking correctly. I mean, true, according to you, if you're looking at her like you're looking at yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? So therefore, you judging her, you want her to act like a lady, but yet you're treating her like a man. That's the irony, like in the whole thing to me. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's almost like you're saying she's emotional, lack of logic. I mean, not logical, right? But yet you're using your logic to either talk to her or to try to convince her. What are you doing? You're gonna have to explain that shit to me. You know what I'm saying? You wildin'. You know what I'm saying? You playing, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Pull your pants up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Pull your pants up, babe. The ash is out there. But anyway, everybody has their mission. We're not here criticizing. It is what it is. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is there's layers into this thing. Right? If that's the way you're looking at it, that's where you at with it. All right, man. Go at it, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I always say too, wisdom is wisdom regardless of where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of food I had to, Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, in my last video, I talked about, what the fuck did I talk about? I talked about, I don't even fucking remember. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be talking about, right? Yeah, I was talking about, how if the feminine energy were to come up to you and ask you, and that's something I personally went through too. Like, she'd ask her, baby, what you want me, we're about to go out. She was like, baby, you want me to wear the black shoes or the red shoes? Do you see what I'm saying? And me not understanding what she's asking. Because what she's asking you, it's not like she can't choose. She can't choose. She wants to please you, that's one. But she's looking up to you as her leader. And thirdly, she's using, instead of activating her masculine energy in her, now that she has you, she's using you. Otherwise, why the fuck would she had you before? So we're just gonna build on that, right? So now the idea of what I was trying to say there is that it's understanding that emotional intelligence or understanding, her, because she's looking at you on a whole different level, in a whole different lens or perspective. So for you to come together, you still need to express yourself, but you gotta express yourself in a way that, what I'm saying, that you understand her and you understand what she's saying to you. Do you see what I'm saying? But for you to do that, though, you got to understand the way the feminine energy operates. Now, let's get back. Yes, they are emotional. Yes. But that emotional that we're talking about here, it's not a lack of it's not a lack of, or it's not the fact that they're not logical. What I'm saying to you is they have a different set of logic or intelligence that you have to be aware of for the sake of having a good fucking relationship. Just saying, right? Again, I don't know what your goal is. You know what I'm saying? But I would assume, you know what I'm saying? But again, I've been there too. Listen, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody here. I've been there too. Well, but not having the proper knowledge though. You see, we have to learn how to do everything. This is your survival kit, baby. It's all mental. There's no way out of it. You're not just gonna know how to love just knowing how to love. You learn how to love. The whole love process is a learning process. It's you unfolding yourself and embracing at the same time. Again, it's another way of the spirit to express itself. That's why a relationship shouldn't be your life. You gotta understand that too. It's a part of you. Once you get married, whatever the fuck you have kids, you still gotta live, right? So what is your purpose? What is your mission? What are you here to do? You see what I'm saying? So something to keep in mind. And the more real you are to yourself, the better you'll be for your kids and for your woman too. Now let's build on some shit. Now, we already said that they are emotional, but you have to acknowledge their intelligence, the emotional intelligence that they have, right? So, here's where I'm going with this, right? A couple things I had to learn personally, right? And I'll give you a perfect example. And I think I'm going to be giving out different, you know what? I'm going to have a different series of this about, different things that I went through that I got to understand. And that way, we're just going to keep the shit rolling, baby. One monkey doesn't stop a show, baby. Let's keep going. Not at all. But anyway. You know how sometimes, like, you're the feminine energy. Let's just say your woman would have, well, she would be mad about something, right? And of course, I know for me personally, you know what I'm saying, I was always the type of dude, shit, nigga, I ain't got time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way. Only because, okay, you're mad, it's better for me to just give you some times, and then when you come down, then we'll talk. Never do that. Never, never, ever, ever do that. And if you find yourself in the habit, because sometimes, but the whole idea of me doing that was, to avoid the whole, you know, not necessarily like dispute, but sort of like, I'm thinking I'm bringing peace into that by removing myself. And that is the number one thing you never do, man. You gotta take that storm, baby. Regardless of how mad she is, you got two choices. You stay there, you take all that shit. You just relax. You know what I'm saying? If you want to tune her out, you just go ahead and do that. But you stay there, though. Because the way she's looking at it, the feminine, she's looking for, okay, now, do you have my back? That's why you'll see, and I know for me, she would be saying some shit, and then I walk away. She got even more mad. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you want me to fight, nigga? Like, what the fuck? But I didn't understand what she was saying, and she wouldn't say it to you either. Oh, she's not going to let you know that shit. I'm giving you some inside shit here that I had to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's what you're doing. She's looking for that support, man. When you're walking away from her, you're not, it shows to her, she's processing it like you're not supporting her. You let her down. Do you see what I'm saying? But if she's going through, like, let's just say there's a storm, she's throwing shit around, nigga, you just stay there, nigga. The fuck, bitch, you ain't got nothing on me, nigga. So you showing her, bitch, I'm with you, regardless. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how she's looking at you. That's how she's processing it. So when you stay there, that's what you're showing to her. Now, the other way you can actually go about it, because we said that she's emotional. Yes, she is. But you got to understand, being emotional means now how do you talk to her? I'm not saying you got to get fucking emotional here. You know what I'm saying? No. But what you do is, or what I've done, I kind of noticed that kind of work. Being emotional means like, you got to make a contact with her. You got to, do you see what I'm saying? Like, if she's throwing shit around and all that shit, or she's talking all that shit, you just grab that bitch. And of course, she's going to try to push you away and all that shit. You hold on tight to her. You're making a skin connection with her. And that skin connection, pretty much, that's how, you know what I'm saying, you are transferring your energy over to her. And you'll see over time, as she was mad and shit, you know what I'm saying, she was on her broom. You know what I'm saying? She turned red and all that shit. You're going to start seeing her aura changing. Or her, from, you know what I'm saying, from being mad, then now that you're holding her, you're making that contact with her. She's going to come down sooner or later. But, it's not going to be an easy shit. You got to hold that bitch real tight. Because she's going to try to push you. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, nigga, leave me alone. Get the fuck out of here and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? The typical shit. You know what I mean? Hey, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. Got you, motherfucker. What? You know what I'm saying? Or if you could come up with some joke too, that would be good. Because her being emotional is you gotta change her emotion. That's what emotional is. That doesn't mean she doesn't have a fucking logic or she's not intelligent. But the way you would get in touch with her, the way you communicate, you gotta make sure. That's why I was talking about holding her. You gotta get emotional with her as well. But not by you being emotional like being a bitch and shit, or start throwing shit too. That's not what I'm saying. But emotional in the sense of, you making that connection with her. You know what I'm saying? Then when she comes down, that's when you could talk. You know what I'm saying? But you never, never, never walk away. couple things that I wish I knew. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn the hard way. You feel me? But it's all part of the game, right? And the other thing that I also wanted to tell you guys too, that I had to learn the hard way too, is you never, ever, ever please a woman. Don't get this twisted. I'm not saying to be a fucking asshole here. That's not what I'm talking about here. As a man, as a masculine energy, you always got to do what is right. That's what I'm trying to say. By not pleasing your woman. That doesn't mean you're not buying her flowers. You're not doing nice shit for her. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what, disclaimer, all right? Message. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about, nigga, all right? I'm not talking about you not pleasing her in that sense. Surprise the shit out of her. Do all that bullshit if you want. But the point what I'm saying here, you always not to do things to please her. You do things that is right. Because as a leader, she looks up to you. Do you see what I'm saying? The minute you don't do what is right, now you're looking to please her. That's when, why would she have to look up to you for? Why would she have to be submissive to you? And here's something else too. Being submissive doesn't mean, you are being enslaved, ladies. You know what I'm saying? They're just saying that, you acknowledge this man. You have decided, to cooperate with this motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about by being submissive. You see what I'm saying? So you never do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you guys see the movie 300, man, come on, man. Yo, before the guy, man. Yo, I was thinking about so much shit, man. Yo, I was just wilding, right? Yo, if you see the Matrix 2, right, where Morpheus get out of the elevator, and all those people was waiting for him soon as he came out, and then the people was like, Neo, please, I have such and such over there, you know what I'm saying? And then, Trinity was walking away, and now Neo was like, Trinity, Trent, stop, you know what I'm saying? She was like, nah, they need you, and Neo was like, I need you. She was like, there's time. Now, you already know. If you listened to me before, Trinity's on the list. Oh, she's getting fucked. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, motherfucker. She's getting fucked. You see what I'm saying? But the real Trinity, though, I'm not talking about, what's her name? Marianne or Mary Corrine, whatever the fuck her name is. I'm not talking about that, but the idea, that's a mature feminine energy there. You see what I'm saying? Yo, can you imagine now in today's day, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if it was fucking Lakeisha and shit. And by me saying that too, I'm not saying, like all I'm trying to say is it's not, a black lady or anything like that. What I'm trying to say about Lakeisha, you know what I'm saying? Like a hood bitch. You know what I'm saying? And they come in different shades, baby. But what I'm saying is a feminine energy who's not mature. Hey, Neo, let's go, nigga. What the fuck? That's my man. So therefore, she's not sharing your purpose with you. She's not there for you. Do you see what I'm saying? She's there to control you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm seeing, in those talk shows, when the certain, immature feminine energy are talking about, when they're talking about their men, it's more of a dominion type of shit, domination type of shit. Do you see what I'm saying? So I was thinking about shit. If that was that bitch like, Neo, let's go, nigga. I don't give a fuck. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go out there and save your ass? Now, I'm glad that I mentioned that too, guys. This is just to let you know, man. You gotta pick, you know what I'm saying, the bitch that fuck with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Listen, man, I know you may like the shoes, but if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, baby. It just don't fit. There's nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying, handsome? You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit, nigga. I have a lot of women who did not love me, man. My baby mother, like, I'm not gonna get into the detail and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to sound like, you know what I'm saying, I'm talking down on anybody. But the bitch didn't like me. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you're not attractive. It doesn't mean none of that. But doesn't love me simply means, you know, like me, the person that I am, the shit that I stand for. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, of course, she loved the image, but not necessarily me. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what you see too when a lot of people, you know, are acting from the false self. You know, they love the idea of the person, but not the person. You know, especially if you guys are not on the same level. Do you see what I'm saying? So it has nothing. Don't take it personal, nigga. You may love the shoes. You know what I'm saying? And if you know what I'm saying, if you're 13 like I am, and that shit's 10, you can't. There's nothing you could do with it. Yeah, it sure look good though. It does. You gotta let it go, baby. You gotta let it go. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You just you know what I'm saying. You gotta get in where you fit in. You feel me, handsome? Yeah, come on now. Mm-hmm. So you see now, you know, for you to come together with that feminine energy, it's important for you to understand it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I was talking about the movie, like 300. There go another bitch that's on the list. I need to get the name though. But anyway, yeah, I'm wilding. You know, when it was time for the king to actually go and fight, you know, like the 300 guys, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, he had to do what he had to do. You know, she was like you know, she was fixing his shield, knowing that he may not come back. But she stood up with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Believing his dream and represented him. Come on, niggas. I don't know what you guys are doing out here with that domination shit. You know what I'm saying? Can you see what you're missing out on? I mean, you're missing out on a whole bunch of good shit, my niggas. You know what I'm saying? You looking for a nigga for money, dog? Oh my god, it's okay, it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong, baby. You just didn't know any better. That's fine. You good. You good. Don't be too hard on yourself, ladies. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Don't do that, baby. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that the nigga may not come back, she was fixing his fucking shield. You know what I'm saying? Men gotta do what a man gotta do. Now, think about this now. This is where this shit's gonna go funny, and that's why I'm telling you never please a fucking bitch. Not pleasing in the sense that, again, you gotta understand the context in which I'm speaking of, I'm talking about here. You know what I'm saying? By you standing up for something, for the right thing. In fact, there's this guy. Oh, respect, man. Pimp C. You guys gotta check him out. And he said it in the most beautiful ways ever. You know, and sometimes, you know, even me as a content creator, when I hear other content creators saying shit in a certain way, I'm like, God damn. You know, he said some shit to this effect, like, you have to lead your woman through your light. Do you see what I'm saying? And my way of breaking that down and what I'm trying to say to you is, it's by you standing up for the right thing, by you knowing yourself. But he got really dramatic with it. You know what I'm saying? All right, player, I see you. You know what I'm saying? But that's the bottom line, though. Can you imagine now if that king, right, in the mix of everything, just came back home, or he was like, you know what, babe, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna leave you. I got a son with you. You know what I'm saying? Let's just survive. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't be fooled. Now, she'll be like, "What the fuck?" You know, she'll probably never wouldn't show you that. You know, like women had like the feminine. There's certain things that she wouldn't show you. I mean, show it to you, but she wouldn't be happy with it. That's why a woman would always tell you, man, I need a man to be a man. They tell you that too. I want you to be a fucking man. Meaning you gotta be in your power. They tell you that too. I need a man to be, you know what I'm saying, who's a man. So you gotta, being a man meaning you gotta stand up for what's right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your goal. You have some shit that you're passionate about. And through that, she will support you. She'll take pleasure in seeing that. That's her fucking leader. Oh, that's her leader, like a motherfucker. Even though she's crying, let's just say, knowing that you may not come back, but she'll be deeply fucking satisfied, fulfilled. I had a man, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So don't let her fool you. Even if she her crying, but deep inside of her, she loves it because that's being the feminine energy. The masculine energy will always arouse you. And if you're not a leader to yourself, how can you lead somebody else? What type of example would you even set up for your for your son? Even as your son, you know, well, I'm getting dramatic a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, you got to stand up for what's right, man. You know, they don't have to see it now. You know what I'm saying? They'll get it later, in due time. Mm-hmm. You got to stay in your integrity, baby. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It's fine. They'll get it later. You know what I'm saying? They'll catch it later. And they always will. It doesn't have to be the same person because everything's being recorded, baby. It's in the fucking Akashic record. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't want to cheat yourself. It's being recorded. Every good deed, like I think there's a saying that says, you know what I'm saying? If you know it, you know what I'm saying, you know it. But the bottom line is, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, always do the right thing. Hmm. A good deed is never lost. Some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way you definitely got to look at it. And that's the way it is. So in that sense, never ever please a fucking woman. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about domination here. We're not talking about none of that fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about integrity here, doing the right thing. As a leader, she wants you to be a man. You don't think, well, I know it was a movie. I'm getting dramatic. But I mean shit. It's also a reflection of real life shit. A bitch that love you, man, like she believes in your dreams. She fuck with you. That's what I mean. Do you see what I'm saying? Not. It doesn't mean you're not attractive. It doesn't mean you are unattractive. It doesn't mean you got a small dick. It doesn't mean none of that shit. Or you're not worth of love. None of that shit. That's why, you know what I'm saying, you may like the shoes, but if it doesn't fit, you gotta let it go, baby. You gotta let that shit go, King. It ain't for you. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to kick the shoes, you know, you don't have to kick it away either. I mean, it's just not for you. That's all. That's all it is, baby. You know what I mean? It looks good. All right. It ain't my size. You know how many like shoes I've seen that was not my size that I really like? It's not personal. Hmm. So, to recap, so we talked about pretty much understanding, and these things were things that I had to learn myself. Do you see what I'm saying? Never walk away from the feminine energy because the way she's looking at it is that, you're not supporting her. And when you stand there and you take it as a fucking leader, as a motherfucking man, you're letting her know, bitch, whatever the fuck you're talking about, that shit ain't phasing me. Because when you walk away, she feels like you can't handle her. Or you're not being fully there for her. Mm-hmm. Take that shit, dog, or you fucking grab that bitch and you just hold on to her. And it's always good too if you could come up with some jokes. Because what jokes does is that you're playing with the emotion. You know what I'm saying? You have to bring it into alignment. Because you are the leader, that's what you do. You breathe, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Not with some bad fucking intention, not looking to deceive her or not to be deceptive, but for you to communicate with her. That's all, you know what I'm saying? And the second thing is, niggas, never please a bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give her the medicine. Do you see what I'm saying? The real shit. Hmm. And, and that's all I got for you guys tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I may keep this going as I guess, as I try to put together a couple things that I've learned. You know, yeah, man. Stay tuned, niggas. I sent. Bow. Mali.